Hey, welcome to Blind Girl Vlogs. I know loads of you have been reaching out and finding where I am because the last time I did a video was quite a while ago. And over the last month, I've actually been in hospital because I've been very, very poorly. So I thought I would give you a very brief update of where I am and to say that I'm still okay. I'm very much alive and kicking. And I'll explain a little bit more once I've done a room tour. So I'm here based in the UK and I have been very fortunate enough to have a side room here on the gastro ward, and I have been here for several weeks. Before that I was on a different ward. I was on SSU, and before that I was on AMU, which is the acute medical unit. And then they moved me up to the gastro ward because I have issues with swallowing. So as a blind person, being in hospital is never easy. It's not easy for anyone, but for me being blind, totally blind, I have to rely on some support from staff. But I wanted to just share a few things that have made my life being in hospital that much easier. So for example, I have my own room. That wasn't because of my blindness, that was just because that was a bed that was available. So I'm going to do my best in showing you the room. I need to be very mindful because there is a whiteboard with my information and my personal medical health, and I don't really want my doctor's names and all of that showing. So forgive me if this is a bit shaky, but like I say, I wanted to come on and update you with where I am and giving you just an overview of what's been happening. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to have it at waist level and hopefully keeping it straight. So in front of me to the right, I have just a walk-in shower, and it's a really nice powerful shower, and it's just all of my things in there. And it's very easy for me to be able to navigate. So as we come along, I follow with my right hand, I trail along the wall, and then we have the main bedroom area here. So I'm going to kind of like put my back towards where the whiteboard is, because like I say, I don't want my personal information being shown. So this is the only way I know how to avoid showing that particular wall. So yeah, we have a bed in front of me, and then I have a chair, so if I have visitors they can come and sit and all of that stuff. Now over here, this is a side cabinet, so I'm also kind of giving some visual references to those of my blind and low vision subscribers and anyone who is just stumbling across my videos. So I'm actually kind of like feeling the feeding tube where it goes up the top here. That's where they plug in my feed, and I'm on that for 10 hours a day at the moment, and I'm having 50 ml every hour. And this is also where they can put IV fluids into me. So that's that. And then over here, I wanted to show a little puzzle piece that my fiance's godson, who's only 2, wanted to share with me, because before I came into hospital, we were going to be looking at playing with puzzles. And this is a little lamb that I'm now touching, that Simon brought for me. It's so cute. It's called Bambi, and the reason I called it Bambi is because I actually fed a baby lamb at Church Farm back in March, and the little lamb was called Bambi, so I thought that was really, really cute. And then over the other side we just have the blood pressure monitor and the oxygen and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's quite a big room, and again, I'm just being very mindful about what you can and can't see, but it is a good size, and I am very fortunate enough to have had this side room come available. So what's been happening with me? Okay, so for quite a while, over the last 2 months, I've been struggling swallowing, and it got to the stage where I was struggling to swallow any form of liquids, let alone getting any solids down. So we've had quite a lot of investigation since being in here. I've had CT scans, I've had swallow tests and x-rays, and it has shown that there is some difficulty with the throat muscles and the esophagus working together. So on Wednesday, I've got another scan, which is going to look more in depth at the esophagus. So they believe it's esophageal in principle. The medical terminology, guys, I always get tongue-tied because it's just like so many medical abbreviations that I can't always pronounce. It's been up and down. My health's been in and out, and some days have been better than others. But it is to do with the esophagus. It's achalasia. But yes, they are going to look at what the next steps will be. They did initially think that they could discharge me with the feeding tube that's in my nose right now, but it's not safe for me to be discharged because my digestive system is completely rewired very differently. The feeding tube that goes down into my stomach area is very loose. So the risk would be that it might slip and come back up and cause more issues. So we don't necessarily want that. But yes, it is the esophagus and the muscles in the throat. So I've been assessed by speech and language therapists as well, because they also look at the muscles. It's very in depth. So I am being looked after, but yes, being completely blind, it is quite challenging sometimes. Simon has actually put some notices up in the bedroom where I'm at, and also on the main side room door. So when people enter, it's just kindly asking them to say who they are and what they're here to do, and explain that I'm totally blind. So it gives them an idea, because there's always sometimes miscommunication, and not necessarily out of malice. It's just a high turnover of staff, and just to give me the best kind of care. And I also say very politely, "Oh, could you let me know where you've placed that on my sideboard or my table?" And most people are really, really friendly, but it's just another way that I've been able to kind of have some control over, my own kind of like physical limitations and things like that. But yes, that's just a very brief update. There's lots of other things going on as well in terms of my health, but I just wanted to kind of give you a very brief snapshot of what's going on. So yes, I will update you very soon, and I really hope you guys are well. Put in the comments what you're up to. It's nearly the middle of November, guys. Can you believe it? I am so lucky that I organised all of my Christmas things back in September, so I don't have to worry about Christmas presents, and I am so glad I did, because I had no idea that I would be spending almost a month in hospital, and I don't know when I'm going to get out. So fingers crossed that I get out before my birthday at the beginning of December, because yes, I've got so much planned and so much I want to do. Anyway, on that note, let me know what you're up to in the comments. Sending my love to you guys, and I will be back with you very, very soon. Mwah!